Adventure-like cartoons are slowly dying out, and I don't know when we'll ever get another one. This all started back all the way back in the day when Adventure Time first came out. Some say these type of shows started with Avatar: The Last Airbender in 2005, but I feel like it really started in 2010 with Adventure Time. And as you know, Adventure Time grew up to be this incredible show starting in 2010, which came out the same day as Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, by the way, being the first show to have these callous sort of style that has an overall ongoing world narrative with a plot that eventually shows up, that eventually will have crazy stuff happen, but starts off a bit simple. Adventure Time went on for several seasons and then is now eventually going on even more. But I think the only reason that Adventure Time is still going on is because of it getting a chance in the first place. And it's one of the only adventure-like shows that was given that chance to go on for as long as it did, and I think will be the last show to ever come out within that genre. It'll be Fiona and Cake Season 2 before any other rest, because of things like the next show, Gravity Falls. 2 years later came Gravity Falls, and it had 2 seasons, and then it ended. The creator wanted to make more, but he wasn't allowed to, so then he stopped. He wanted to make a different show, not just a season 3, but make sort of a different show, spin-off kind of thing. He wasn't allowed to. Adventure Time had 2 of them, but for some reason Alex Hirsch wasn't allowed to make a sequel to it. Then Steven Universe, another adventure-like, started with non-plot stuff that eventually got into serious stuff, that basically got canceled for 2 of its endings. To the ending of the main show, because of being gay, they had a movie, and then they had Steven Universe Future, which Steven Universe Future, they had a limited series and they thought it would go on for longer, so they just made it rushed for some reason. Then Over the Garden Wall, which was planned to be a limited series from the first place. And then Star Versus. For some reason, it's a show that got 4 seasons and ended terribly. But again, that creator wanted to make more than that. They still wanted to make more than that. They had more ideas that they wanted to do, but they decided to end it there. So that started in 2015. The next one that started in 2017 was OKKO. This one also got canceled to the point where they had, in the middle of the last season, they just immediately had plot and then more plot and more plot and more plot because of that. They had 3 twists in 1 episode just because of them being rushed. And then around that same time, Ducktales. Ducktales also got canceled for its ending, so they had to rush to be a finale. Amphibia had a finale, but you know they wanted to make more. Infinity Train, they wanted to make a goddamn movie to be the finale, but they weren't allowed to do that because they didn't allow them to. Both of those in 2019 for Amphibia Infinity Train. And then Owl House in 2020. Owl House is the last adventure-like cartoon to come out. You could say, oh, these other ones are adventure-like stuff. Owl House is the last one. It's one of these shows that had a goofy plot, the premise and all that, with a CalR sort of style that eventually grew up into a crazy bigger show. And that came out in 2020. And since then, there hasn't really been any signs of another adventure-like cartoon that started with Adventure Time. All these shows have a very incredible means and mean a lot to a lot of people and have original characters, have this entire world that they're in, have unique themes, have unique style. And the only reason that they're compared and are similar is because they all derive from Adventure Time. And I think the time for that is over. And I think the main reason that this is over because of around 2019 with the cable crisis that has been slowly happening over the course of time. 2019 to 2020 to 2021, which is perfectly shown with Infinity Train. During this time, Infinity Train, the first 2 books are within production, known as the first season, was on cable, was on Cartoon Network, and was released there to be seen by people on there. But then it made a shift to be on Max. On HBO Max, the next season 2 came out and they didn't get redone for a season 3 because the creator wanted more of a movie than a show. So that's why it got canceled. And this being one of the only ones to make it over to streaming. Owl House came out after Infinity Train, but it went to streaming after it aired on cable, but still got canceled because of gay, just like Steven Universe, but also because it was airing more on cable and not being an original streaming property. Because even people love these shows. Cable is the reason for that. The death of cable is the death of these shows. These shows are the reason you came to these channels, these cable. People loved going back and seeing these ongoing narrative shows, just like other shows that came around that time, Ben 10 and other things. Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, Star Versus, OKKO. All these shows are designed for you to come back and watch them for each episode to see what happens next, to see the plot unfold, to see the world develop, to see what happens to these characters that you're interested in and love. And streaming defeats that entire purpose because you just get all the episodes, or they slowly come out, but you could just wait until the end and you'll be able to watch it, which has always been the case, but it just makes it way more stinks. Cable is the reason that they're dead, but the reason one of them is still alive is because of streaming. Adventure Time would not still be alive without HBO Max having Distant Lands come out, having Fiona and Cake. If these ones didn't come out, this show wouldn't be alive anymore, and we want to get to see these incredible stories happen. You see, This That Lands and Fiona and Cake has some of the most interesting episodes or interesting ideas that Adventure Time has ever done, to the point where This That Lands has an actual finale to the characters that we've grown with across the entire show. And we wouldn't have gotten that without streaming. But streaming isn't allowed to have any of these other shows come to fruition at all. They don't bring back OKKO. They don't bring back these other shows. And the reason is because Adventure Time came out first. Gravity Falls came out first. Steven Universe came out first. That's the reason Steven Universe was able to get a show afterwards, was the reason they were able to get a movie. And we're not going to be able to see any more of that because Infinity Train or Owl House came out in 2012 and 2015. You might be seeing the show get a reboot, get a new show, get a new series nowadays. Possibly. If Owl House came out in 2010, we would be seeing that show have up to 5 seasons. But because of the era that they came out in, we're not going to be able to see that. And we're not going to be able to see any more because they're not going to greenlight it. They want more of what nostalgia stuff they have, and whatever works. Whatever works is not something that is not this. People don't want this. They want either what they recognize or whatever they dictate is what people want. And we know that we want more Adventurelike cartoons. Adventurelike cartoons is why I love media, is why I love film, is why I have so many strong conversations with my friends. I've met some of my friends because of online forums and different things that have resulted because of this. If Steven Universe didn't exist, I wouldn't have one of my bestest friends. We wouldn't have some of these incredible things. I wouldn't have these incredible ideas, incredible stories. And the reason we can't have it is just because of times changing. But this is showing that times are changing for the worse, especially for these shows. And it's really sad. And I believe a lot of you are sad too, because these shows are incredible. The way these shows make me feel is something that no other show can do. They can make me laugh. I can watch a random episode of earlier seasons, but I can also binge through it all. I can watch the show go through arcs and cry, but also laugh. I can cry and laugh. I can do so many different things. It isn't overly serious. It isn't overly cartoony. It isn't overly goofy, but it also does just so much to be incredible. All of these shows are incredible. I am going in circles, I know I am, but it's because I'm so passionate about this. All of these shows, I could talk days about them, literal days. I can talk weeks. I can probably fill up an entire month of time I've talked about just these shows. And you're going to see over the course of this channel, me talk about these shows at length because these shows are so important to me and everybody else. Before Adventure Time was Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'd say that's within the same style of these in a way, but they're not the same. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, the first episode aired the same day as Adventure Time, which is another like, oh, here's a goofy show that turns serious, but it's not the same thing. And you all know that. You all can see that these shows are very special and important and are part of the reason you're watching this channel is because of things like that. Most of the videos I've uploaded is because of my love of these shows, and the love of like Gravity Falls in particular has been a lot of the shorter videos I have because I have so many things I can say that I can tell you the smallest thing and people will still care about it. I can make a video about how long Bill Cipher's eye regenerates and people can enjoy that because of them being interested in the show to the point of looking into every little detail. And these shows did that. Adventure Time did that. Adventure Time had the intro, backgrounds had nukes and different old style things, and everybody made theories about it being a war, to the point where Adventure Time had the first theory about there being this war, about what if he's dead and this is his dream. You know that famous image of him sitting in the bed with Jake the dog, just being a normal dog laying on Finn's deathbed or whatever, and this is his coma dream. Those sort of theories started because of this show that happened in 2010, along with the rise of the internet. And the fact that these shows are dying to the point where I don't know if another show's going to come out besides Adventure Time is crazy because of how much these have done for everybody. For so much of the internet has changed because of these types of shows. And I am glad that at least one of them are surviving. Adventure Time, out of all of them, Adventure Time is a good one. A lot of these other shows have had finales. They've given a finale that like makes sense to the shows. You don't have much of the world to explore. You know Adventure Time has more to explore. It has an entire world, entire multi-dimensions. So you see how much they can do. Gravity Falls, you know it's just going to be about this family. It's going to be about this area. But Adventure Time has so many characters they can do to the point where they had an episode with no dialogue that just had a snow guy and a fire dog. And everybody likes that episode. So out of all these shows, I am really glad it is Adventure Time, because this means that the creators of all these other shows, anybody that is inspired to create one of these shows, could at least use Adventure Time as a vessel for these original ideas if they wanted to, because of how vast it is. And I just hope Adventure Time is able to go on forever, so that these type of shows can never die. Because if all these shows die, that's something important from my life, and I know many others' lives, that will be gone forever. And I really hope I'm wrong, but the saddest part is I don't think I am. And I hope I've proved that the slow death of Adventurelike cartoons is real, and that and I'm upset about it, I guess. Like, I personally end up upset about it. That's why I made this video. I'm upset about it. And if you are, comment down below. Tell me how important these shows are to you. Tell me any of these type of shows are important to you. I might have missed one, you know. I want to hear your stories. And this isn't just like, oh, comment down below so you can comment down below so I can get algorithm, whatever. I'm genuinely curious about your stories, because this is something I have to deal with, and I've had to deal with within myself as like a person that like really cares about this shit for no reason. Cares about this shit so much that I'll make videos about this stuff years later, after so many years of it ending. I'm still talking about Gravity Falls. I am still talking about Gravity Falls after all these years. So I just hope you guys tell me your guys' stories. Tell me what you think. I want to hear it, because I'm not able to watch these shows anymore, but I can at least hear about you guys. You know, I can look online to see people talking about it. It's like, just looking online and seeing videos about these things, it's like these shows are still alive. It's like these shows were never canceled, they never ended. It's like I'm able to revisit this thing that's really incredible, and that's what the internet's able to do for me, and what able to do for all you guys. That's what I hope this channel can be for you, is to be more conversation about this thing so you can enjoy it, because that's important to me. And if it's important to you, make sure to subscribe. This is actually me doing a call to action now of like algorithm stuff, I guess. Subscribe for more stuff like this. Tell me if you want more of it. Comment down below, because I will not make more unless you comment to make more. So yeah, that's about it. Love you guys. Bye bye.